Basically, how would I describe this? This painter, he moves his family into this old house that has a dark past, right? I guess the former tenant, the parents were killed, and the son had mental illness, and he basically the new painter's family moves in, and this guy he comes back, and he comes back to the house, and he has like this thing where I guess it's supposed to be Satan is talking to him, telling him basically to murder children and bury them in this specific spot. So they're kind of like, how do we say, sacrifices to the devil, and so throughout the film he tries to drown out that sound, and the sound design in this film is impeccable. It's why I love it so much. It's super haunting and feels like The Witch. It has that kind of those satanic, like, weird tones that make you feel like bad for watching it, pretty much. But anyway, yeah, he does weird things like playing. He has like this electric guitar where he just plays riffs really, really loud, and of course, like, the cops in the city tell him he can't do that anymore because he's disturbing people. So then he goes back to trying to murder children, and ultimately he goes to his old house, and he tries to kidnap the daughter of the painter.
Okay.
Who's also being summoned by the devil, and that's all I can say without ruining what happens. But man, you got to check out this movie. Even if you don't end up liking it, it's a must watch at some point. So yeah, check it out. Devil's Candy.
I think I will, man. I might watch both of those today. Wharf by the Apes and this one.
Well, and let me say, for anybody who's not into crazy like gore or anything like that, it's very taut and classy. Like it's almost like an art house or horror film, you know what I mean? Like, it makes you feel uneasy, but it doesn't really take that step of like, you're not gonna really, you never really see him kill any kids or anything like that. So don't worry about that, because I know you're a dad and whatnot. It's no Serbian film.
Okay. Good.
But yeah, let's move on to one of your guys' picks.
So one of my honorable mentions is It Comes at Night.
Ooh. That was a really good movie.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones I texted Wesley the other day and said, I have eight solid picks. Here's what I'm thinking might fill out the last two, and that was one of them.
Okay. Yeah, no, I saw this movie because Wes said you had recommended it. I think maybe a week or two before I actually got the opportunity to see it.
I think we talked about it with Annie.
Yeah.
And then right after you went to the theater.
Yeah, I went with my buddies, and got to see it in the theater, and we had missed a showtime for a movie, and I was like, oh, my friend said this one's pretty good, and I was like, look up the trailer on YouTube or whatever before they decided to buy it, and they're like, okay. So they watched it and they're like, oh yeah, this looks pretty good. So we go see it after, and then the movie's over, and I'm like, wow, this movie was fucking good. Mm-hmm. Like, singing in my head. And then my buddy next to me, he's like, this movie fucking sucked. He's like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, this was stupid. Why did we pay $10 to see this shit? They're like, oh, what a waste of time. How did this whole thing even start? Like, they were just like asking questions. Like, they're like, did someone get bit, or like, was there something that happened? Like, why do people like this? They're like, I want an explanation, like Resident Evil, like how they explained how the thing happened, like with the canister and it cracked open or whatever.
Like, why that? Why do you have to make that comparison?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, they're not even really like zombies or whatever. But yeah,
I love that approach to things when it's like less is more.
Yeah, because the horror, it's like
the unknown. You know what I mean? The things, what's creeping, looming in the dark, not necessarily, here, let me make you a blueprint of what the fuck is going to scare you.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And that's why I like the movies. It's because it doesn't matter what the cause of the sickness or why the people are turning into zombies.
You're there to see this family try to survive.
You're here to see this specific story of a family trying to survive whatever this is.
It's a small piece in a giant thing, but you're just seeing the small piece. You don't need to know everything else.
Yeah.
But it's super intense for me, at least. I was a lot of build up to scenes, and just it was really like a. I mentioned it before. Like, I didn't even remember there being any type of score or anything.
Yeah.
I think it's real.
When I think about the movie, I'm like, I don't remember it at all. And so to me, that's what made it more kind of weird and like creepy and intense, because like there's nothing really to. There's just like intense scenes happening, and you're like, oh god, like there's nothing to drown like the music and everything, but you're just experiencing it, and it's just crazy. I mean, I thought the way it was shot and the way everything happens in the movie is just awesome. I think it's a really good movie, and people should check it out. I know it's already out on Blu-ray, DVD, Netflix.
Yeah, I think it's like
Redbox.
$10 or $13 on Blu-ray already. Yeah. Definitely, I would check that out. It's if you watch the trailer is misleading as far as
I knew that when I went to go see it, but my buddies didn't. I didn't tell them that part.
It's just a little bit more.
It plays up the horror aspect.
Yeah.
Like the monster aspect of the movie.
And a lot of what they've cut in the trailers is what the kids' dream
sequences. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. I noticed this stuff because I'm a projectionist. Do you notice how the aspect ratio would change from time to time?
Would it?
Yeah.
Which scenes?
For a while there, it felt like every time it went to one of his dreams.
Okay, I was going to mention that now. Yeah,
it was letterbox.
Like when it shows like the camera going slow to the door, and it's kind of
Yeah, it was letterbox, and then like the climax of the movie, I think, stays in that letterbox format. But I noticed that the aspect ratio changed a couple of times.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah, that's my honorable mention.
That was another one that was like out in the theaters and gone. Like
it was quick.
Yeah.
A24.
I think I tried to catch it, and then I missed it when it was like playing like a full schedule, and the only time I could catch it the next week was like at 10 a.m. at like a theater, and so I ran right out to watch it because I knew if it's only down to one showtime, it's gone.
Yeah.
At the end of the week, it's gone.
But yeah, that's fine.
How many are we doing?
You can do. Yeah.
You can do as many as you want.
Yeah. I have two for you guys.
You
two big
them.
Ones.
Yeah.
Like I said, if this were like a 20 film list, I'd tell you everything else that was on the list. But Lady Bird was like close to making my list, and maybe it didn't make it because it's a recent release.
Like very recent.
Yeah, like within. I think I caught it like Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, no, because Shape of Water. I think it was out before Shape of Water, and Shape of Water's on your list, right?
Yeah, but Shape of Water I loved.
No,
more than Lady Bird, but maybe because I hadn't had time to really watch it again or absorb it, or it didn't hit me as hard as some of the other ones. That's not to say that it's not a good movie, because it's great, and it kind of has that feel where this is what it's like to be a teenager.
Okay,
it's what I really enjoyed about Edge of 17 last year, was that this is what being a teenager is like.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're happy with things, sometimes you're disappointed. You meet a guy like she does in the movie, and the guy turns out not to be the right type of guy, so she goes with like someone else that she really wants to be with, and it's like, oh, he's not the right type of guy for you either. And it's really messy, and you're best friends with someone, and then you kind of drift apart, and then you realize, oh, I need this person. This is my best friend for a reason, and everything. And it also gives you an appreciation for where you're from, and that's what Lady Bird does, because she hates living in Sacramento. But it's not until she leaves Sacramento that she realizes how much she loves her hometown. You know, not that I would say that I could ever say I would hate San Diego. But I'm just being away out of town like I was earlier this month. I was happy to be back to San Diego.
Yeah,
it's a great coming of age film.
Yeah, it's a very good coming of age movie, and I really liked it. It's got really good supporting characters as well. But that's my honorable mention.
Okay.
Lady Bird.
It's out in theaters still?
Yeah, it's still out. It's been doing well, so
Okay.
it should stick around for a while.
Okay.
You have you said you have 2, right?
I have one more. I didn't know how many we were doing for.
I only have 1.
Yeah, I just had the one too.
Okay. Well, I'll throw some love to three billboards.
Oh yeah.
Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Really good movie. Frances McDormand is fantastic in it.
What a nutso name.
It's a long title. It's a mouthful. I just refer to it as the 3 billboards.
Yeah.
But that movie's really good. It's, her daughter is murdered and the cops never solved the case, so she puts up the billboards kind of to get their attention as to why the case was never solved and what are they doing. And it's a really good movie actually about grief. But also, just the supporting cast is awesome. Like Woody Harrelson is the sheriff, and Sam Rockwell, who is awesome in the movie, is one of the deputies. And he's like a real fuck up and like a real violent, almost racist cop.
Yeah.
But he's got such a good role in it, and his character arc over the course of the movie is really, really good. I don't want to say anything else about it to spoil it, but God, who else is in it? Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones is in it. He's got a smaller role, but he's really good in his part. He wasn't in it as much as I thought, but he's got a fantastic mustache in the movie. He's really good, and John Hawkes is Frances McDormand's ex-husband. And he was in Deadwood. And, he was Danny McBride's brother in Eastbound and Down.
Oh, okay.
He was his brother. He's really good in the film. And I know you guys reviewed Mayhem. You guys were talking about Mayhem about 5-6 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you were talking about, what's her name? Samara Armstrong?
Weaving.
Yeah,
that's
Weaving. Samara Armstrong. That's someone else. Samara Weaving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's in 3 billboards.
Oh.
Really, really small. I think maybe just a scene or 2.
Mm-hmm.
But she's really good in it.
Okay. She's I went back because they put Ash vs. Evil Dead on Netflix, and I started rewatching I think the first season, and she comes out. You remember when they go back to the original cabin, right?
Yeah.
And they meet up with they're like hikers or whatever. They're camping in the woods.
She's the Australian one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never realized. Yeah, I didn't put that together till the other day.
She's got a supporting role on a Showtime show right now called Smilf, which is really good.
Oh, okay.
A really, really good show. And Samara
Weaving?
Samara or Samara?
Samara.
Samara.
That's how
Okay,
you
excuse
say
me. Samara Weaving. She's got a supporting role on that show, and she's really funny in it too.
Smilf, you said?
Smilf.
Yeah,
good show.
I've been wanting to check that out. What else? What are we talking about? Forget.
Those are
Disappointments?
Those are my honorable mentions. I just
Okay.
wanted to throw those out. There's a ton of other movies I can mention, but those 2 are really, really good, and they're out right now, so I would highly recommend them.
3 billboards.
3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
All right. Biggest disappointments segment?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Me?
Say it at the same time.
I have two, so which one? That's the thing. I don't know.